Warning: as this game has pretty much the same basic elements as Super Mario Bros., if you somehow don't know anything about Super Mario Bros., I strongly advise you watch Down Memory Lane Episode 2 first, because I don't want to repeat myself for half a video. My god, that game. I'll tell you right away, if your controller has these marks in it, stay away from this game, because we'll just bite through it all the way with this game. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the original sequel to Super Mario Bros., or as it's called in the West, The Lost Level. This game was designed for the Famicom Disk System for the people who can finish the original Super Mario Bros. Blindfolded while playing Chopin on a piano in front of an audience. According to my research, it was designed by Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka. But as they don't talk about it too often, I have two theories on this. Either they were just too tired of seeing Mario, so they wanted to make it so that every gamer won't want to see him again, or it's actually their evil twins who designed this game in their place. Either way, on June 3rd of 1986, this Super Mario Bros. 2 came out in Japan. Only. And I tell you right away, I'll play the All-Stars remake for a few reasons we'll see along the way. Let's get the obvious out of the way first. The story of this game is exactly the same as its predecessor, so you know the drill. Bowser kidnaps Princess Toadstool and Mario, or Luigi in this case, has to save her. Also, the graphics didn't change much since the first one. The ground looks more like actual ground, and cloud and trees have eyes to better watch you die again and again. The only thing missing is a laugh track and some popcorn. Other than that, you make a break-up. This is the first reason of why you will see a remake from now on. If you've been watching my videos, you've pretty much already seen this graphics, so it would be a nice change of pace for you guys. The very first thing you will see in the intro is Mario die from a poisonous mushroom. You can smell betrayal even before you press a single button. I've already shown you, but here you can choose between Mario and Luigi, and they are different. Well, Mario controls pretty much the same as in the first game, and Luigi jumps higher but seems to have soap stuck under his shoes. This game does ask you quite often to make precise breaks, so I advise you take Mario for your first playthrough. Luigi can be good if you already know what's coming and want to make a speed run, as you can jump a lot higher to avoid obstacles. So I guess you already understand that this game is hard, but actually the first world is not that bad. It's about as hard as World 5 or 6 from Super Mario Bros. 1. What's that? Yeah, it's just like real octopi, you know, when you get them out of water, they fly. World 2 introduces us to another thing we'll see quite often in this game, this. Oh, okay. Okay, now what do I do? This actually brings us to reason to play the remake number 2, the Game Over system. At least the original Famicom Disk version is not like the first game, as it's not back to the start like in the first game. Here you only have to restart the whole world. So if the first level of the world annoyed you, well, get used to it. In the remake, you only restart the level you were in, making the life system almost entirely pointless. You can also save the game for each level in the remake to make it easier, as in the original, you can't save your game at all. Oh, cool, a warp zone. Oh, you're kidding! Choose your poison, death or restart the game. The Hammer Brothers are still your worst enemies here, as they often just walk right to you like a bunch of hammer-tossing maniacs. My trick is pretty much just to make a run jump right over them and pray for the best, but sometimes there's a hidden coin blocking you. The key, as in any good platformer, is to take your time your first time through. Like for those giant holes I told you about. You have to stop, walk back a bit, and then come back to move the camera a little to be able to see what's ahead. Whoa, 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 what's that? I have to talk about another element that killed me tens of times, the wind. I'm not sure, but I think it has to be one of the first action games with wind physics actually. I sure could have done without it, especially in these parts. And these trampolines sometimes just don't work properly. Ah! Sometimes the game just feels weird, like here. Mario gets in the castle in winter and gets out in summer. Did he just spend months in the castle? And yeah, that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. A bunch of hard challenges, and between them it seems like they just use a random level generator. This game is pretty much Shigeru Miyamoto and his team making a ROM hack. Air pulling difficulty, cheap deaths, a few parts in which the game just tells you, look, just stop playing, okay? In the end, you free the princess and... what's that? A new quest? World 9, which appears if you did not use any warp zones. It's actually a pretty easy bonus world, except that in the original version you had only one life to go through all 4 levels. And then there's the reason to play the remake number 3, Worlds A, B, C, and D. In the All-Stars version, they're automatically unlocked, but in the original you have to complete the game a total of 8 times to unlock them. The game does save the number of times you beat it, but that's just insane. Now I have nothing against a good challenge, folks, but a challenging game also has to be fun, you know, and this game really is not. Take the Perfect Run challenge in Mario Galaxy 2 for example. It's actually harder than anything this game has to offer. But I had quite a lot of fun pushing myself to do it. In Super Mario Bros. 2 though, it was more like having to go back to the torture room. But it does feel really satisfying to complete it, and that's the very definition of NES hard. The only advantage it has over its predecessor is that there's almost no repeated levels. While I'm here, I might as well talk about the remix soundtrack from the All-Stars version. And I admit it, I'm not really a huge fan. Is it me or is it really high-pitched? The water theme, for example, is a nice soothing valse in the original, but here it's just ear grating. The underground theme remix sounds like if some alien punk frog tried to sing with some drums. Now if you're wondering, what did I just watch? Where's all the vegetable tossing and stuff? Well, as I said, the original version of this Super Mario Bros. 2 never left Japan, as it was deemed too hard for an American audience that was, just after the crash, rediscovering video games. That vegetable tossing game, yeah, we'll see that in a few episodes of course. So yeah, Super Mario Bros. The Lost Level is now part of the All-Stars pack for the SNES or Wii, and the original can be downloaded for Wii, Wii U and 3DS actually. In my opinion, it is one of the worst made Mario games out there, so I only recommend it if you have some weird morbid curiosity for difficulty. So that's it for today guys. Next time we meet, we'll see how one of the most important people at Nintendo mixed both Mario's and Zelda's gameplay to create another big Nintendo franchise. I'll see you then!